Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. My name is Adam. So I'm trying to get together another video for you. It's time to get back out here in the shop and get busy. And I've actually got a lot of things here to show you and talk to you about. And I wanted to go ahead and give everybody an update and fill everybody in about what's been going on in my life this past week. I'm sure most of you know. I'm sure there's some that maybe you don't know, but I lost my dad a week ago, January the 31st. As you know, because I told you, we had to put him in the hospital because he was sick and he wasn't feeling good. He had a lot of pain. So, I thought everything was getting better for him, but evidently it wasn't. It wasn't getting better. It was actually getting worse for him. I thought, he had good days and he had bad days, and I kept thinking that he was going to pull through and he was going to come home. But they about a week after I'd put him in the hospital, they ran a bunch more tests, and they ended up finding that he had a leak inside, and he had got infected because of that. And they fixed it. They stopped the leak, but they tried to treat him for the infection with antibiotics, but the infection just got too out of hand, and it got to his blood and reached his heart, and he just couldn't fight it anymore. He put on a good fight, but he just couldn't take it. So he left us, and it's been the hardest thing I've ever dealt with. It's been really tough. I was not expecting this, and I know that nobody ever does. And it's hard. It's very hard to be prepared for something like this, because I can tell you we were not prepared for it. I thought that I was going to be bringing my dad home, but he didn't make it home. But we weren't prepared. But with all of the love and the support from my family and my friends, and from especially you guys all over the world, it made it so much easier to deal with. And my family did great. They all came together. They came in from out of town and supported me and my family, and and my dad. And he had a great service. So I'm gonna miss him dearly. My dad meant a lot to me. I mean, he meant the world to me, and he was my teacher, and he was my mentor. He taught me my trade that I know. I learned it through him. Everything that you see me do was because of my dad. So I'm going to continue to carry on, and I guess you can say I'm a bit of a reflection of my dad with the metal work and the machine work. I wanted to give a big thanks to my buddy Tom Lipton at Ox Tool Company. He made that short little tribute video for my dad, and Tom, I appreciate that. That was great. Me and Tom communicate quite often through email, and I kept in touch with him, letting him know what was going on, and when everything went down, I told him about it, and told him, I said, I don't know when I'm going to be back on YouTube. It was just from my mind. I wasn't thinking about it, and he offered to put something there on YouTube for all of you guys that watch our videos and seem to have become we've become friends with so many people out there from all over the world. As we've got this really nice little group of guys that we like to watch each other's videos, and we kind of get to know each other a little bit more every time. And so there's a lot of you guys that watch me, and so Tom said that he'd like to put a little something together to let let the family know, what had happened there. So again, Tom, thanks. I appreciate it. That was a great little tribute you did. And I also want everybody to know that I got tons of messages from everybody sending their condolences and their prayers and their thoughts through private message. I got a few through email, and on the channel, everybody was posting on the channel, on Tom's video, and even a few there on the Practical Machinist website. And I just want to tell everybody that's watching and everybody that posted, thank you very much. It was just like, it amazed me how many people out there cared about my little family and my dad and everything that we were going through. It was really great going through there, reading all those messages. I did read every single one of them. I believe I've read every message that was posted, whether it was a comment or a message. I read all of them. I didn't reply to many of them. I replied to a few of you guys. You know who you are. I sent you a reply, but there was just so many, and I just want everybody to know that even though I may not have replied to you, I thank you very much, and my family thanks you too. Several of my family members read a lot of them, including my mom and my aunt and my brother and Elena. So thank you guys. Thanks to everybody all over the world that's showed their concerns. It just means so much to me, and I can't thank you enough for doing that. And we're all going to miss Dad. I was hoping to get him out here a little bit more, and we had plans to do that, but I was fortunate there to get him on video a few times, and I'm glad that I have that. I'm planning on making another video, like a slideshow for my dad, from the pictures that I have of him. I've got a bunch of pictures that I'm starting to scan, and I'm planning on making a little music video for him. And hopefully I'll have that done soon whenever I gather up all my pictures and get them online. But so that's enough about that. I hope I covered everything that I wanted to say. As usual, I don't have a script. I've got a little cheat sheet here of some other stuff, but you always just try to speak from the heart, and that's what that was. And again, thanks everybody. So I've got some stuff here that I'm gonna show you, and let me get some stuff ready, and we'll be right back. All right, guys. So the mailbox has been pretty full the past couple of weeks. I've gotten a bunch of stuff in, and I've gotten stuff from all over the world. So I got a few things to show you. I've got everything kind of lined up here, and I've got me a little list here, so I try not to forget anybody, and I'm going to show you what I've got. You guys that worry about or kind of complain about me talking too much, just be prepared. This is probably going to be more of a talk and show and tell video more than machine work. But you know what? I like sharing the things that people give me and send me on the channel, because that's how they got to know me, and I want to show my appreciation. So I've got some things I'm going to share with you. I got a couple things here first that I'm going to point out. So I think it was my last Saturday night video. I showed this. I've kind of pointed that out. This is a little job that had come in, and I went ahead and did this job, but I did not record it. I wasn't in the mood to mess with the camera. I just wanted to come out here and just do some work and listen to some music, and that's what I did. And so here's the piece that I made. Hopefully you guys can see that pretty good. It's got a tapped hole, 3/8 16 tapped hole. This is turned to 5/8. I believe the flats there were 7/16, and this was a piece of 3/4 stress proof, and the pin here is a 5/16 drill rod. I drilled and reamed it and actually pressed that piece of drill rod in there. So that's a little job that I had done. There's both of them there. So I got that done, and he was the customer here. He was very kind, and I told him that I had a lot of stuff going on in my life, and he said just get to it whenever you can. So I did that a couple days ago. Got that knocked out. I got some big block valve covers off of a Chevrolet motor here that belongs to another friend of mine. He asked me if I could drill the holes in the valve covers for the breather. Got to drill it up. I believe it's going to be an 1 1/4 hole for the grommet to fit in. So I gotta knock that out. That's going to be another job, and he's not in no hurry. This is just you know, something that he's working on. So I got that, and you can probably see on the video there, I've got a few sterret boxes down here. I went ahead and bought me a couple things from Sterret. I actually had ordered this stuff, a couple of things for myself. I had actually ordered this a couple weeks ago, and they came in last week when I was absent from work, and just went ahead and brought them in. I'll show you. I wanted to kind of point this stuff out because I told you before I like to try to buy some Sterret tools whenever I can, and every now and then I'll pick out a couple from the book that I want, and I will get it ordered. Let me tilt the camera down just a hair. I think it's kind of missing a little bit there. All right, so what this is right here, something that I've been wanting, is the number 62 rule holder. I tried to get a couple of these off eBay, you know, used, and the guys were just running the price up sky high. And I was like, well, piss on that. I'm just going to buy me a new one then. So this is it here. And what this is a clamp that you can put your scale or your ruler and tighten that up, and it'll hold your scale. And then what you do, we'll just pretend this is like a nice flat surface, not on the wood, but like a granite plate or any kind of nice flat surface, like Mr. Tom's nice little welding table. But give you an example. Well, I've got it kind of spread out, so I got my 36-inch Sterret scale, and you can stick that sucker in there and hold it down flat and snug it up, and there's your rule holder right there. And they got the bottom of this ground so it sits nice and flat, and you've got a nice tool there to hold a scale completely straight. There's been a lot of times where I wish I had this when I was trying to measure some. You know, I told you I don't really use my height gauge as much, but there's a lot of times that when I'm working on a metal surface like the boring mill at work, I use that table a lot, and I've got little tubes and rods that I've got to measure from end to end, and this will make it nice here. I've got another one of these at work, by the way. I can stand my part up and get a little bit easier, more accurate reading. And usually what I do is I'll just stand the scale up next to the part, and then I set my other scale on the top, and then I get a reading. But you know, with this right here, you just got a little bit nicer, a little more elegant tool to be able to hold that scale perfect. So you can, you know, get you a part. Here's something I machined a while back. You know, if this is just an example, guys. You know, you can hold a part there, and you can get your readings. You can hold another scale across there and transfer it to this scale. There's a lot of different things you can use it for. That's just kind of an example there of how it's used, and it's something that I've always wanted to have, and now I finally have my own. So I'm going to go put some more oil on it, but here's a little closer up shot of it. Hopefully you guys can see that nice. It sort of has, you know, the old school look. Like, I don't think they've ever changed the design of it. The bottom's kind of hollowed out to make it a little bit lighter. But that's it. That's the number 62 from Starrett. Put it back in the box. Okay, there's that one there. And I'll go ahead and, these you might have seen. They were sitting there in front of the calipers that Tom gave me. These are my new digital Starretts. I haven't even used them yet. But these are the Starrett number 799, and this is the 8-inch. These are the ones that I use at work all the time. My day job. I use these all the time. I've got this one. I've got a 12-inch, and I wanted to get a 12-inch also, but the 12s are just going to have to wait for another time. But I really do like the Starrett. These are some really nice calipers. They got a good feel to it, and another feature that I like about the Starretts is that they automatically turn on and off. You don't have to worry about walking off and leaving, which I do all the time with my Mitutoyos. Mitutoyos are probably over there on the lathe, but that's the ones you always see me use, and I all the time forget to turn the damn things off. I'll come out here and I'll see them on. But anyway, so that's my new. Those are my new Starrett digital calipers. There's been a little talk out there on the channels about digital versus dial calipers. And I will say that I do like a dial caliper, and I've got some. I believe I showed them to you in another video. I've got some Starretts, and I've gotten used to using the digital calipers, but I like either one. But I did want a set of the 8-inch, so I got me some. And one of these days, I'm planning on buying me a 12-inch. They're just a little pricey, so I have to wait on those. And these here are not mine, but they belong to my buddy Gil. He wanted a set. These are the same things, the $7.99, but he wanted a 6-inch. You know, he doesn't need a big set of calipers. But so anyway, he gave me the money, and I ordered him a set. So these are Gil's, and he's going to be coming to pick those up pretty soon. I'm sure he's excited to get his hands on them. And I got some other stuff down there, but that's some other stuff that we're going to talk about at another time. All right, guys, I'm going to move on to the next little round of things here. I've got some viewer appreciation items that were sent to me, so I'm going to get to these now. And so the first one that I got right here that I want to show you, this is from Randy Richard in I believe it's called Mariposa, California, and you have probably already seen this item right here in somebody else's video. And it's a little hammer that he made for me, and very cool little item right here, very nicely done. And Randy made one of these for Tom Lipton also, and Tom put it in one of his previous videos not too long ago, and he talked about it. And Randy wrote me a little note here, and basically gave me the same story that he told Tom. You know, he built this using salvage materials. These the ends are some 1/2-inch copper cap head bolts that he machined, and they're actually threaded inside the center here. This center part of the body is a concrete form stake, And this part here, the handle, is aluminum off an old snowmobile track roller shaft. And he says that he finds it works great for center punching, and it also fits in your pocket. So Randy, it's a great looking little hammer. It's beautifully done, and I really appreciate this. And at first when I seen it, I wasn't sure if I wanted to use it or not, because it's a nice item. But you know what, I believe I'm going to go ahead and put this thing to use sometime down the road. So you may see me use this to do some work there. Let me see what else he wrote. He also has a huge selection of hammers that he's collected from his grandfathers and father, and some that he played with as a child. And he loves hammers. So he says enjoy. I will, Randy. And again, thank you. Very cool, very nice. Nice gift, man. I appreciate that. All right. So that's the first item right there. Now we're going to move on to some more items that were sent to me. And I told you I've got some stuff that come from all over the world this time. Really, really exciting. So my next little group of items right here is from Mike Fraser, and he is from Yarker, Canada. So we got some something come from over the border. And the first item here is this tool here that he sent me. And some of you guys are probably like, yeah, I know what that is. He wasn't quite sure what this tool was, and I know exactly what it is, and we're going to talk about that here in just a second. I'm going to go ahead and point out these other cool little items that he sent me. He sent me one WNMG 432 insert, and this is a Sandvik. I believe it's a GC15, and he said that it's a good general purpose insert that works great on stainless 17.4, 304, 4340 grades of steel, and he said give it a shot and see what I think. So I'll give this a try, and we'll see how it does. The next item right here is really cool. I really like this, and here's a little better shot of it. Some of you guys were complaining that I'm not holding them up there long enough, so I'm trying to give you a little better look at some things. And you can see it's got a magnetic on the back, and what this is a chart holder. So like here's his note. You can stick it on a toolbox and you slide your print up in there and it holds it. And it's got a lot of resistance coming off there. Slides in easy and holds it nice and square where it ain't gonna just fall out and the wind blow it off. So that's a neat little item. I've never seen one before. So it said this is OSG. I know OSG is a manufacturer of cutting tools, and they make some nice ones. So this was that's a nice little item right there. All right, and so that the last thing we're going to talk about that he sent is these are those transfer punch tools that are made by Hyman Manufacturing Company. And I'm going to tell you what he wrote right here is and he had sent me some emails or personal messages and was talking about it, and I wasn't sure what he was talking about, but when I seen it I knew exactly what it was. He said, this is the tool I was talking about. I had the 1/4 inch that you now have. He said he also had these in several other sizes, but he can't find them. We have a couple senior guys at the shop, and neither of them have ever seen anything like this, so hopefully you may know. Well, Mike, I do know what they are, and they've been talked about. I want to say Tom Lipton talked about these in one of his videos. I can't remember if it was him or somebody else. But anyway, so you unscrew the back here, and it's filled with a few of these, and I'll go ahead and dump them out here. And it's filled with these little pieces right here. And what these are, they're a center. And you see that it's threaded. It looks like a little set screw, really. And you got a little hex right here on the end. And on the end of the tool here, you've got, this is what you install it with. So you stick that in there, and then you screw this into your hole. If you've got a tapped hole, and you've got your your point there. So it's got there's 6 of them in here, so I guess it's 6 to a set. But how this works is, if you got a I don't have anything ready to actually show you, but if you've got here, let me point you down a little bit. All right, so here's the tools here. We'll just say we've got a real funky hole pattern in a part, some kind of part, or maybe it's on a machine or something, that's a little hard to get to, and you want to transfer the hole pattern to another piece of material. You screw these into your hole, and you just use the appropriate size. These are 1/4-20s, and once you've got them screwed in, you lay your piece on top of them, and you tap it, and it transfers your hole pattern to it. And they are very handy in some jobs that's just hard to get to. It's hard to measure. They're an excellent tool. And I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example of what they're good for. One of my good buddies. One of my buddies, his name is Tommy Leonard, and I had him over this past week, and he spent some time with me, and we talked, and I showed him these, and I don't believe he had ever seen this actual tool before either, but he told me once he started looking at it, he was like, I know exactly what those things are used for, and he said that he had actually made some homemade ones to work on his race car stuff. So he does race cars. He builds dirt track cars, and he was telling me that what he had done is he made some to screw into the front and the back of the engine block, because he was going to use the engine plates, which is usually like a big aluminum plate that goes across your engine and is what's connected to your frame. So he had actually made some of these out of some like grade 8 bolts, and screwed them into the block on each side, and was able to just pull his engine plate right up next to it and hit it and transfer the hole pattern directly into it. And that was a very good example of how these Hyman transfer punch tools can be used right there. So Mike, thank you very much for the tools. I appreciate it. I've actually always wanted some of these things. I've never had any. So I'm gonna be on the lookout and see if I can find me some more in some different sizes, and maybe start collecting a few more of them. So that was great, buddy. I appreciate it. I really like the little print holder. I've been wanting to put it up on one of my boxes somewhere, but I haven't yet because I wanted to wait for I make the little video. So. All right, so the next thing right here is I received 2 boxes that are going to be jobs for me to do, and this is my first mail call jobs, I guess you call it. So the guys contacted me and told me, hey, I got something. Are you interested in doing it? So I told them, I said, yeah, send it on. We'll get you hooked up. All right, so. The first one here is from David Masters, and he's from Lapine, Oregon. So this is from a pretty long ways off from me. But what this is right here is a shaft, and I believe he said it's off it's not on the note, but I believe it's off of a Delta Delta saw. I know it's a Delta woodworking machine. And he asked me, could I spray weld it? And that's it there. In the center here, he's got some wear. And he asked me, could I spray weld it? I told him, I said, yeah, we can get you hooked up. This is a metric shaft. You got a metric Acme thread on one end, and then I haven't even measured that, but you've got another real fine metric thread on that end. But so this is a little job I'm going to do for David. We're going to set this up and get that spray welded and get them fixed up. So that's a little job we'll be doing in the future for David. So that's that there. My next thing here, let me grab them. All right, so these are some of those slick silicon bronze TIG rods that my good buddy Tom Lipton sent me. I told him about an upcoming repair job that I'm going to be doing, and I told him I asked him how those rods would do. He thought, because I've never used them before, and he said, "Man, those things will work great." So here's the job. I'll show it to you. Let me point you down just a little bit. This is an impeller that was brought to me, and you can see you got a big chunk missing out of it. They asked me could I fix that and salvage this impeller, and I told them, I said, yep, we'll give it a shot. I feel pretty confident that we can do that. But since then, they told me just to hold on to it. They're not sure if they're going to fix this one yet, and that was actually last week. And you know, we've been going through a lot here at the house lately with the family, so they haven't really got back with me yet. But I plan on talking to them soon and see what they want to do. But I was hoping this was going to be a nice job to show you on the videos. So Tom sent me some of these rods I was going to try out. And what they were going to do, he said he had another one that was junk. He was going to bring me the other one, and I was going to cut this out and cut a piece out of the other one, and then weld it back up with these silicon bronze rods. That's the information that Tom gave me on the rods right there. Got the Radnor part number on it. He says use it in DC straight polarity. So I'm looking forward to using these. Even if they say that they're going to junk this one and not going to fix it, I'm still going to play around with these rods and see how they weld to it right there. Okay, on to the next thing. So you guys remember this? Not too long ago, I showed you this little hammer. That's my small hammer that I got. Well, my buddy Gil come over and was looking at it, and he just fell in love with the thing. And he asked me if he could take it and borrow it because he wanted to make a few of them. So he did, and he brought me one. He made one, just like the original. I mean, it looks identical. Gil did a great job making this, and the head right here is some brass hex stock. I don't remember what the size is. I don't think I ever measured it, but I actually had that hex stock down there on my shelf. So we pulled it out, and he took that, and he made me one. He actually made a few of them. He made one for his dad and his son, and made him one and me one. So I wanted to point that out. Gil, you did a great job. The machine work looks great. Your knurling looks great. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. So now I got two of the small hammers. All right. So the next thing I'm going to show you is another job that I've got. I told you I had two, and that's going to be this sucker right here. what this is a spindle that James Green, he sent me. I believe his name on YouTube is Eagle Dust Off. So this is a little spindle out of his Grizzly lathe, and he asked me what he was wanting to do is build one of them little spiders for the back of it, like I showed that I did to mine. And his problem is that well, I'm trying to remember. I guess maybe, I don't think his lathe will cut metric threads. I think that's what it was. So this is a metric thread right here, and I didn't write it down, but I got to remeasure it. But I want to say it's like a 30. Yeah, let me get my calculator. That's bothering me. I can't give you guys any numbers. I believe it's well, it's looking like it's going to be 39 millimeter. So I don't know. I'll take some careful measurements of that and then measure the pitch just to see what that is. But anyway, he sent this piece here, this slug. This is some stainless steel that he had that he wanted me to use. And basically what he wants me to do is thread this to screw on the end of his spindle right there so he can make his spider. And he's going to do the rest of the machine work as far as drilling and tapping and all. But so that's an upcoming job that we will get to for Mr. James. And James is in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Thank you, James. We'll get to your job hopefully pretty soon here. All right, I got one more thing to show you. This is my last package. I promise that'll be the end of it. And this is my first package I've received from overseas right here. And this is from John Simpson. And he is from Great Yarmouth, Norfolk, England. And what he does is he turns wood. And this is a little lighthouse that he turned for me and sent to me. He wrote me a letter, and he showed some pictures right here. And this is a lighthouse here that he modeled it after, and he turned that on his wood lathe, and he sent it to me. Now, John, I don't know if there was anything else in this package. That's pretty neat. Royal Mail, and went through customs. It says wood sample on it. But John, I don't know if there was anything else in this package besides this, because when I got this is exactly what it looked like. The letter was in there, and the little lighthouse was laying in the bottom of the bag. And there's a letter there telling you that, you know, it was damaged. They apologize and blah blah blah. But when I got it, I ripped the bottom open, but this was open right here. And I don't know if somebody opened it to take it out and see what it was. But what I'm saying is, I don't know if there was any other parts that went to this or any other pieces. If you will just let me know, and and I'm letting you know this is exactly how I got it right here. But I appreciate that. That's a pretty cool little item right there. I'm gonna put that out here in the shop, because it's almost like just a great little keepsake piece, and it looks just like the other lighthouse there. And this is another picture. This is a picture of some balancing rollers that he wanted me to see also, because he liked in my other video when I was showing you my Anderson Brothers balancing rollers. He said that these right here do the same thing. Let's see, he wanted to tell me that he really appreciates the videos. It's very interesting, and thank you for the effort you put in. Thank you, John. He watched Saturday Night too about the hammers with interest, and wondered if the 3-inch ball peen hammer may have been part of an engraver's toolkit. That I couldn't tell you. I really don't know. But it was a hammer that came in the toolbox down there that's in the middle there. It was in that toolbox, and that was one that my dad bought from a retired machinist pretty good while back. Yeah, so I don't know if that man had made it or what. He says that on Saturday Night 3, you showed the roller bed used to check the shaft was true. This is a picture of a propeller balancing jig with a 10-inch prop on it, and it's exactly the same idea. Also in Saturday Night 3, you talked about lathe fittings to stop long shaft from whipping. Soon I will be doing some long turning in my wood lathe, 36-inch by 1/2 inch diameter. If you're interested, I will show you what I have done to eliminate whipping. So of course, you know, send me an email or post it up on the channel. He says, I'm hoping to set up a YouTube channel, so maybe I can get you as a subscriber. Well, absolutely, John. I'll subscribe to you. It ain't hard at all to start you a channel. Anybody can. Just get your camera, get out there and start recording, start filming your stuff, man. It's fun. I love doing it. I love sharing my stuff with all you guys out there, and it's a lot of fun. And I appreciate all the great fans out there and all the subscribers, and especially all the cool little gifts that's being sent to me. It just it means so much, and I really appreciate it. So thanks again, John. Thanks for the little lighthouse, and thanks to everybody that sent me stuff this week. And I'm going to go ahead and take a little break here. Not quite sure what else I've got in store for the video. I'm going to see how the time looks here with all this stuff, but we might have some more stuff to throw in there for you. Okay.